People just talk about 2 degrees.
2 degrees.
2 degrees.
2 degrees.
2 degrees.
2 degrees Celsius.
Even though the fire on the top is out, it's now burning
So it might not
underground.
seem like it, but it's the middle of the day here in
Storm
Beijing.
lashed Vanuatu with heavy rainfall and winds of up to 170 miles per
We're
hour.
talking about catastrophic losses along the coastline of Mexico. Officially, the strongest
some of the
hurricane
heaviest
on record.
rainfall we've seen since really the early 1900s.
Across a vast area of southern India, millions are stranded by floodwaters.
Panic in the streets of Kathmandu after a quake toppled temples that stood for centuries, brought down buildings, and tore open roads.
Devastating earthquake. The death toll now stands at well over 2,000.
8.3 magnitude earthquake has struck off the Chilean coast.
There's been another mass shooting in America.
20 little kids gone like that.
Somehow this has become routine. We've become numb to this.
Heart-rending pictures of a toddler's lifeless body washed ashore on a Turkish beach sparked horror as the cost of Europe's growing refugee crisis hit home.
The search for hundreds of migrants is underway after their boat capsized in the Mediterranean.
Are anything between 450 and 800,000 people this year.
Millions of refugees are living in exile in limbo.
I think the most important thing is to try to bring peace and stability to that part of the world.
Heavily armed, 2 men entered the building in the centre of the French capital late this morning and began firing.
Police have now confirmed at least 4 attacks in the city of Paris.
At least 37 people have been killed and 180 are injured after twin suicide blasts in the Lebanese capital.
A peace rally has turned deadly in the Turkish capital, Ankara, after 2 explosions killed 86 people.
You can see Iraqi civilians make up the vast majority of deaths from the war on terror or from this conflict as a whole. We don't look at the conflict as a whole, do we?
A Russian airliner carrying 224 passengers and crew has crashed in the Sinai Peninsula.
Service said traces of foreign-made explosive had been found on fragments of the wreckage.
C'est la France, notre maison.
Mais il y a des méchants, papa.
Oui, mais il y a des méchants partout. Il y a des méchants partout.
Ils ont les pistolets, ils peuvent nous tirer dessus parce qu'ils sont très très méchants, papa.
C'est pas grave, ils ont des pistolets, nous on a des fleurs.
And I think that's the way you change the world, is you sort of redefine your insides and the box that you're living in, and you come together to realize that we're all in this together, that this delusion of difference, this idea of countries, this idea of borders, of religion, doesn't work. Like, we're all really made up of the same stuff in the same box.
They will either remember us as the generation that destroyed its home, or the one that finally came to respect it.
We are the most compassionate, most violent, most creative, and most destructive animal that has ever been on this planet. And we are all of those things all jumbled up together.
Let's see a little splash.
Oh. Holy shit.
Excuse me.
We can't solve for death. I know some of you are working on this. Meanwhile, we can design towards it. Now, parts of me died early on, and that's something we can all say one way or another. I got to redesign my life around this fact, and I tell you, it has been a liberation to realize you can always find a shock of beauty or meaning in what life you have left.
When you die, it does not mean that you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live.
and what should give us hope that this is a turning point. That this is the moment we finally determined we would save our planet. Is the fact that our nations share a sense of urgency about this challenge and a growing realization that it is within our power to do something about it.
A small country with a big message about equality and equality of opportunity.